What's up? I'm Patrick and welcome to SW Reacts. Today I'm reacting to Ave Mujica, Symbol 3 Water and Masquerade Rhapsody Request. These songs were requested by Gnome as their monthly requests included in my Patreon membership. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. They said that Symbol 3 Water is the third song from the Elements EP. I already reacted to Symbol 1 Fire, and I'll see that this is pretty different. And Masquerade Rhapsody Request is a slightly older song, but one of their favorites. The songs follow one another at this live show. There is also a classical piano interlude between the songs. And yeah, I remember reacting to them previously. I think I reacted to them twice, actually. I think it was Symbol 1 Fire and also like a self-titled song. If I remember correctly, it's a band that's kind of part of an anime universe, franchise, whatever. And I remember it being pretty dramatic and that I liked it. So I'm excited to check them out again today. If you want to be like Gnome and support me and my channel, you can request a song on my Buy Me Coffee page, or you can check out my Patreon, where you can find some exclusive content like this one. You get requests included monthly and some other things. The links are in the description if you're interested. Thank you very much. Before we start, please also leave a like, consider subscribing, and now let's just get into it. This is definitely not what I was expecting. She's got a beautiful voice for this kind of piano ballad sound. She also delivers with a lot of emotion. I love the piano as well. The little change she did just before that, and the rhythm. That was beautiful. Wow. That was cool. Cool interlude. Nice. Yeah, this is more of what I was expecting. Nice breakdown. Yeah. I love this. Why play the piano normally when you could do it the other way around? This was so cool. They probably couldn't have shown their versatility better in back-to-back songs like they have here. Both songs plus the interlude were just great. And they were great in completely different ways. Like I said, I didn't expect the first song at all, but it was such a beautiful piano ballad. The lead vocalist has a beautiful voice that fits to this kind of music as well. She can deliver with a lot of emotion, some parts more softly, some parts a little more expressive, sometimes adding a little falsetto. Sometimes you feel like she's adding some deliberate vocal cracks. It creates a very beautiful and very emotional atmosphere together with the piano that plays beautiful melodies. I also like that one part where the piano changed the style of playing a little bit, going into some kind of more, I don't know, can you call it staccato rhythm? So there were also some changes during the song. Also, I feel like there were some orchestral elements, a little bit of like strings that supported the song, but I feel like they just joined in throughout the song. So there's some kind of development within the song as well. I also found it pretty cool. I think it was probably the last note she sang in the first song where she held that note for a little longer, and that was the same note as the cello in the background, and that kind of sounded cool. I don't even know why really, but yeah, beautiful song, emotional song with a great emotional delivery. This ballad structure and sound gives a little room for her vocals to show that she's able to transport some more feeling, and the overall atmosphere was just great. Then the interlude followed that, and that was kind of unique as well. It also already led a little more into the direction I was expecting, because it's this darker classical sound that has a lot of drama, and I remember that from hearing them before. It's also another chance for the piano player to show how great she can play, the skill and talent she has. I really don't know much about classical music or the sound of like classical music, but for me it looked and sounded very on point and very difficult to play. And like I said, it feels like a great intro or transition from this emotional ballad sound to what will happen then in the next song, because that was then the sound that I was expecting a little more. It's heavier, dramatic, theatrical. There's a lot going on. It kind of gives me this more dark sound, a little gothic feeling maybe. It's a great mix of rock or metal and those symphonic elements. There are some very cool guitar riffs, some nice piano elements still, and also, like I said, those symphonic orchestral elements that make all of this sound even bigger. There are some great changes of dynamics, of rhythm, and if you've seen a couple of my reactions, you know it, but I just love breakdowns, so this was right down my alley. I didn't quite expect the first breakdown before the first chorus, I think, but that was awesome already, and then the second breakdown, after building up into it a little more, then having this small pause, and then kicking in with the breakdown with a lot of heaviness and those symphonic elements in the background. I think that worked in such a great way. But besides that, also the chorus is very catchy with nice melodies, a great change of pace and rhythm. It feels very energetic, very intense. I mean, the whole song also plays with those tension and release moments in different ways. Of course, like I mentioned, the breakdowns, the build up into the second breakdown especially, there's tension building, then there's this pause, and then it's releasing in this big breakdown. But also the chorus, I feel like, is a moment where there's a lot of impact. It kind of unloads a lot of energy. It's a great song with lots of intensity, with great moments, with catchiness, with heaviness, with those symphonic elements. It's a unique sound that's dramatic, theatrical, a little cinematic in a pretty more dark way, both aesthetics wise, but also the whole ambience and atmosphere. So I loved both of those songs and the interlude, and I also enjoyed the big contrast between those two songs, and the kind of classical transition in the middle fits perfectly as well. I also read both translations for both of those songs. I don't know, it's probably just me today having a bad day or something, but I'm kind of struggling to really get behind the meanings. I don't know if it's also maybe having a connection to the anime or to the franchise, or in the case of the first song, maybe to the whole concept EP. And I also don't really recall the meaning of the symbol 1, fire. It overall, for both songs, feels like the lyrics are written in a dramatic way as well, so that suits the musical style. I feel like it has a lot of symbolism, a lot of metaphors and imagery that I can't really get behind right now, which I'm sorry for, but especially for the first song, because it has this emotional sound. I'd love to learn what's the meaning. If you know it, drop it in the comments. Thank you very much, Home Gnome, for these requests. I had a lot of fun. I think those are two amazing songs. It's just an amazing band, great musicians, especially the piano player showed a lot of skill here, for example in the interlude, but also the vocalist showed some great range of dynamics, of emotions. There were some very cool guitar riffs. The drumming in the second song was very energetic, very forward pushing. I loved the beautiful atmosphere in the first song and the dramatic theatrical heaviness in the second one. Specifically, the breakdowns were great. That's something that always gets me if it's done well, and they did it well. They did it in their own way, adding this symphonic sound and having some great changes throughout the second song of the pacing, of the rhythm, of the dynamics overall. Besides the heaviness and drama, they also had catchiness, and I just really enjoyed all of that. Please let me know what other songs by them I should check out, or if you have any other artists you would like me to react to, please also let me know. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like, consider subscribing, and thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye. so right.